What's up, everyone? My name is Candace Smith, and this is Duval Connect Magazine. I am so excited to bring you these series of interviews for the behind the scenes of the RDB Fashion Show that took place on May 21st in Jacksonville, Florida. It was at the beautiful Aloft Hotel on the South Side, and RDB showed out. It was a phenomenal show from beginning to end. I mean, I didn't know where to be at. I didn't know whether to be with the vendors, backstage with the hectic of the models, or out there with the show. It was so much going on, and I wasn't able to interview the models like I wanted to. So they set up this behind the scenes series of interviews with the models so we can get a little bit more about who they are and behind the scenes of the show. So today, Nick Adams has joined us, and I'm super excited. Hi, Nick. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, Miss Smith. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well. I'm enjoying these interviews. I'm learning a whole lot.
Well, we appreciate it. I'm very glad to be here. I'm actually very, very grateful, that I was on the list, for people who wanted to be interviewed. Um, I'm excited. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Okay, well, that's what's up. So let's jump right into it. The day of the show, what was your experience like?
Um, Insanely hectic. So I was working with Anthony and Cash to try and get down that choreography for our closing segment, because they just kind of sprung it on us. I don't want to necessarily say it was last minute, but it was late
Last
enough.
minute.
Yeah, it was late enough that I was a little worried about it. So I was actually supposed to be at the venue first thing in the morning. I mean, like 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, I'm not sure how much you've heard about what I do for work, but sometimes things just kind of pop up. And lo and behold, yep, I had to go in. So I didn't actually get there until probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just I got up at 4:30 in the morning, and I was just going until the show ended, which I don't think I actually left the venue till about 11:30 that night, something
Right,
like that. It was pretty late,
right.
but
Yeah. So what do you do? No, I don't know. What do you do?
well, most people don't. I try to keep it very compartmentalized. I work for the Department of Homeland Security, and I'll just kind of leave it there. Um,
Okay.
I'm not a police officer. I'm not a
Okay.
cop. That's the next thing that everybody thinks it is, but it's not. But it's yeah.
Okay.
I do my best to keep things compartmentalized. So if you see me on Instagram or something like that, you'll never see anything about work on Instagram. You'll only see my modeling stuff.
Right.
Um, and I do keep it open and up to date, as well as retroactively up to date. So you can go back and you can see, hey, this is how it started. This is how it's going. This is,
Right.
kind of the direction it's headed. But then if you, and I don't necessarily mean you specifically, but if any individual tries to add me on Facebook, typically I don't use Facebook that often. So one, I'm liable to not even see the notification. But then if I do see it and I do end up adding you, I'll be like, hey, Facebook, Instagram's a little bit different. Facebook, I try to not do anything modeling related, at least not yet, not
Mhm.
until I get some other things figured out. But Instagram, it's all there.
Okay, well, that's what's up. I'm not even gonna deny. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Like, do you get that a lot when you tell people that know you model that you're in Homeland Security? I know you get a blank stare.
Absolutely, yeah. It's so a lot of people will, they'll see me out in public and not even bother to think, what does this guy do for work? You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, you work for the Department of Homeland Security? What the, with my hair as long as it is, and sometimes like especially some of the things that I'll be wearing during the shows, are like, oh, I didn't know, like that, kind of caught me by surprise. But um, like I said, I do keep it pretty well compartmentalized, and I do that specifically so that I don't I'll say for lack of a better term, like bring discredit to anything, related to the federal government or anything like that. It's one of the things it's a little touchy, but
I understand. I get it. The entertainment world versus the professional world. I think a lot of people run into kind of like certain things or whatever, but I can imagine even more so for you, considering your profession. So,
right.
are there certain things that you have not been able to do considering your profession?
Absolutely. There are occasionally there'll be an event that'll pop up where and Pharaoh's pretty good about keeping everything. He knows, what I do, and he knows that there's just certain things that I can't do. So he won't even bother asking. If something comes up and somebody says, "Hey, I need models for whatever it is," this is a conversation that he and I had when I first started, and he filters through a lot of that for me. So it's a non-issue for me. If somebody says, I need models for this event and it involves A, B, C, D, all the way through Q, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, well, this guy that you wanted, Nick, yeah, he can't, yeah, he's not gonna be there for that."
Right.
And then even as far as some of the content that I'll post, my personal page on Instagram, it gets a little risky from time to time, I'll admit it. But again, that kind of falls in that gray area, as long
Right.
as things don't overlap. If there's nothing in the photo to say what I do for work or where I work or any of that, it's usually
pretty good, pretty safe.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
usually pretty safe.
okay. So, what came first, modeling or Homeland Security?
Homeland Security came first, for sure. I've been there for several years. That's actually how I ended up in Jacksonville. And funny story, the day that I showed up to Jacksonville was actually the same day that Pharaoh found. Well, I guess you could say he found me, because I bumped into one of his models, and she was like, "Oh, you want a model?" And I was joking. I was actually joking, and she actually got on the phone, and here we are today.
Wow! So you were discovered. You have a whole discovery story.
Yeah, it's a unique one. It was I was staying at a friend's house on the couch, and yeah, I woke up and there was another person there, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Nice to meet you." And she's talking about modeling, and I'm like, "What?
Oh,
Maybe I
wow.
should model." And then, I mean, I had been in Jacksonville for all of 6 hours, so
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a real true discovery story. Okay, so how long have you been modeling?
Since August of last year, which if anyone ends up seeing this video in future years, that would be August of 2020. Yeah, during the height of COVID, nonetheless.
Right, exactly.
So it's still, I mean, it's still relatively new. I've been working a lot recently, so I haven't been able to do as many photo shoots or events in general as I was doing, especially in the wintertime.
So that's interesting that you started basically your modeling career in the middle of a pandemic. Did that play a role in why you did it? Did that have something to do with it?
It definitely helped, I'll say. There were obviously there were challenges, trying to work around all the social distancing and the mask wearing and where can we go and what can we do, that kind of stuff, all the logistics. But it was while I was at work, my schedule was nowhere near what it is now. I had tons of free time.
Okay.
I had tons of free time.
Right.
So me and Pharaoh it was shoot after shoot after shoot after shoot after shoot, day in and day out. And we looked up and we were like, "Bro, we've been shooting for like 4 days straight. We should chill."
Okay. That's what's up. I asked that question because Duval Connect is a community publication. So,
Mhm.
I know the pandemic has affected everybody. It doesn't really matter what you do, So I do wonder how that has affected everyone's career. For some people, it's boosted it, like it's giving them
Mhm.
free time to pursue the things that they want to pursue. And so for others, it slowed them down because they were already in it, and then that just halted everything. So it's just very interesting to see how that has affected everyone. So let's talk about the show a little bit more.
Okay. Okay.
So what designers and brands did you walk for?
Ooh. Um, I'm probably gonna forget one or two, but I'm gonna do my best. I know I did. Um, I walked for Denisha Designs,
Mhm.
Follow. We had our Calvin Klein segment. In fact, I think that's what it was. I walked for Follow twice.
Mhm.
Yes, No Co. Um, I believe there was another designer that I was supposed to walk for who didn't end up coming.
Okay.
Ooh, I wish I had this one written down somewhere. Um,
So let me ask this then. In terms of what you wore, what would you walk right off the runway with of what you wore? Like, I want to take this home tonight and go out with it on, and I want everybody to see me. And you could just feel free to describe it.
okay, okay. I'm not gonna describe too much. Um, but so a couple of the items I actually got to keep, and it was the ones that I really, really wanted. One of them I already had. Thank you, Denisha Design. But when I was walking for Follow, for sure, um, one of those I was like, I want to keep this. I really
Okay.
want to keep this. And lo and behold, after the show, when I was returning said items to her, she goes, "You know what? Pick one. Which one do you want?" And she let me keep it. I was very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
The only caveat is I have to do a shoot in it, which I'm currently working on. Farrell, he's working on that right now, so it's hanging up in the closet, still wrapped up in the plastic, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to. I want to shoot in it before I wear it out too much, because
Well, that's what's up. I always ask that because I feel like it's important to people. They want to be able to wear certain things, and they want to know where they can wear them and things like that. And some people want to know, like, what's the thing that I can go from here to there in, you know?
right.
So
So
go ahead.
it's a very, very unique design. It's definitely an attention grabber, and it's actually super comfortable to wear. That's one of the big things about some of the designs that we wear is comfort, because not all a lot of designers use a lot of different materials. Speaking of, one of the other ones I remembered, K4X, um, lingerie and things of that nature. So I ended up getting some like satin shorts, um, that I got to bring home as well. Again, super comfortable. I was like, hey, can I just wear these like on the drive home? Can this be the last segment? But no, Follow, her design, yeah, it's definitely attention grabber,
Mhm.
and at the same time, very, very comfortable to wear. So
Well, that's what's up. So, next question. First date. You're going on your first date. Of what you wore, what would you wear on that first date?
first date.
Yes.
Ooh, actually, that outfit that I wore for Follow. First
Okay.
date, first date, hey, let's go. Um, let's go someplace laid back, relaxed, that has good food, drinks, music. Probably not live because it gets kind of loud.
Mhm.
And give me something that looks good, that I can wear, that's kind of form fitting.
Mhm.
Um, and like I said, without The design, I'm not going to describe it to you specifically. I'm not going to give you all the details because it's going to come up. It's going to be on my Instagram. I
Okay.
promise you, very soon.
All right. I'm
But
looking forward to that. I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to that. You got to shoot us a picture so we can put it out there for sure.
Absolutely. I guess I'll also say if you don't follow on Instagram, you can at Saint Nick 20, STNICK 20. You can't miss me. I promise. You can't miss it.
Okay. So, do you feel like your fashion sense has changed since becoming a model?
For sure.
Mhm.
Definitely. Everybody says, you go buy a pair of shoes or something like that, or um, we'll say shoes, for example. You go out and you're just like out shopping, you're at the mall or whatever the case may be, and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of tore up my whatevers. Like I got it, I need some new shoes. Well, what goes with everything? Black, gray. For me, it was really diving into things with color. One of my to this day, one of my favorite shirts is and you'll see this one too. It's a coral it's a coral colored Nike yoga shirt.
Mhm.
Incredibly comfortable, incredibly form fitting. It looks good. It feels good. It's one of those things that I don't think I would have explored um, prior to diving into modeling. It would have been like an automatic no, and not necessarily because it looks bad or anything. It didn't. Obviously, it doesn't. But
Mhm.
it's just something that I hadn't considered previously, and not to mention, um, you know, some of the designs we get to keep. So occasionally somebody will put me in something, and I'm like, hey, I actually like, hey, let me wear this out.
Right.
Let me. I got some pants that go with this. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
I
That's
got some
always
pants.
a perk.
I've got some pants to go with this, and I've got some shoes that Pharaoh got me for my birthday that definitely will go with this. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's changed. It's changed a lot actually.
That's what's up. I can only imagine. So will say I was pleasantly surprised by all of the male models. Like I don't usually go to a show and see so many. Like there's always maybe one or two, but there was like a herd coming
That's
down the runway of men. It's like stampede.
hmm
So that
um
was nice.
that's one of those shocking factors for us as well. Within the agency, everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for models. And typically people don't even come looking for male models in Jacksonville. Usually they don't come looking for male models, and then they'll go on somebody's page or something like that, and they'll be looking through and they're like, oh wow, hey, wait a minute. I haven't really been able to advertise or market any of my male designs because I really haven't had any male models. And then they'll see one of us and they're like, well, wait, where'd it come from? And
Right.
lo and behold, they'll stumble across the agency, or they'll come to Pharaoh and they'll say, hey, I need 3 or 4 girls for whatever, and they'll end up on his Instagram and they'll say, wait, you do male models? And he's like, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
We shock people.
Yeah, that was shocking. The routines, just everything, how confident everybody looked coming down because it just don't seem like men are always comfortable with modeling, you know what I
Right.
mean? So just seeing that, that was even when I see male models come down the runway, I can still see sometimes a level of discomfort or like uneasiness and things like that. But the male models at this show, that was another thing that was surprising was like the confidence. There was routines. There were
Yeah,
little
that
dance
part.
moves and
That
stuff.
part.
Okay, I see y'all.
So we were given a little bit of it was a little lax. It was an urban style walk, which gives us the opportunity to express ourselves a little bit more, kind of relax, kind of, you can ad lib stuff walking on, especially if you're walking in pairs, with another model. If you go back and look at, some of the video footage of us walking, particularly like me and Najee, it was like last minute, somebody was like, hey, you're walking with her. She's walking with you. And we were like, oh, hey, let's get to the middle of the runway and then stop and we'll do like a quick little, okay, so you'll come around this way and then we're gonna, okay, cool. And then we're gonna, so you're given that freedom, to kind of move about a little bit, which definitely helps with the nerves. But being a model in general, you gotta kind of let go of, I guess I'll, for lack of a better term, say those inhibitions. Like, if you're afraid that somebody's gonna judge you, it ain't for you. It's not for you, because that's kind of the point. That is actually the purpose, is somebody is supposed to judge you and how you look and how you wear or how you walk, or your mannerisms or your demeanor in a certain setting. I always like to use this example. When back in October, we did a Halloween shoot, and it was a zombie themed shoot for Yes No Co. When we were doing the shoot, first off, it was, I'll say, mildly uncomfortable, and not because anybody made it uncomfortable, just where we were. It was dark. We were in a wooded area. There was kind of moss hanging from trees. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was, it had been raining on and off all day. So everything, it was very humid and kind of wet outside. And he was like, all right, look, you guys, you're supposed to be zombies, and do your best to get in character. It's one of those things, you got to let it go and be in the moment and be what you need to be, in regards to a canvas in that moment. Portray what you're supposed to portray. And hey, if you're afraid that somebody's going to judge you for that, like I said, it's not for you.
Right. I definitely understand that. What are some things that you feel like you've had to change, maybe health wise, or, diet wise, the way you work out or anything like that? Have you had to change any of that?
I've definitely had to get in the gym more. And this is, like I said, another thing you'll see on my Instagram, is I've been relatively fit for the vast majority of my life. But after I got down to Jacksonville, in fact, I even posted a photo on there, how it started versus how it's going. You can see the progress. You can definitely see the progress. It wasn't necessarily easy, but I had it a lot easier than most people. I'm lucky that I have a very fast metabolism. I'm lucky that my body responds to things the way that it does. I just go work out and I can eat whatever the heck I want to. As long as I stay in the gym, I get results.
Yeah.
That's just, like I said, I was just blessed with that.
Right.
You'll know, if you go back and look, I started wearing my hair a lot longer than I used to. I used to just run a 2 all over and call it good. Now my hair's not done right now, so the hat's not coming off. If I grab a strand of my hair, it comes, it's down here now. So
I bet you look totally different with hair like that. Probably gives you a whole nother look.
It completely changes the dynamic. One thing I will say that I was very glad I didn't have to change too much was kind of my demeanor and my mannerisms. Now I had to fine tune some things, for especially like walk runways and how do I do a photo shoot and this kind of thing. But when I went and did my first shoot with Pharaoh, aside from some small coaching things, he was like, hey, look at these photos. This is how this is turning out. This is raw out of the camera. He literally took some photos and he stopped and he, sifted through some of them and he said, come here, look at this. And I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And that was just, again, lucky that was something I didn't have to change too much. Now, there's always, not to say there's not, there's always something new. There's always something I can do better. But I feel like it was a little bit easier of a transition for me, with, regard to what people would expect. I'm kind of a young dude. I'm slim. I'm I'm like 5'11", like right at 6 feet tall. Um, and then somebody catches me with my shirt off, walking, like I live across the hall from my pool. Somebody catches me walking across, over by the pool or something like that with no shirt on. They're like, "Well, duh, you better have abs. Like, look at you."
Okay. Well, that's what's up. So, it seems like you've had a very interesting journey, even though it's been very short. What
For
are
sure.
some things that you're hoping to accomplish? Like, what are some brands that you would love to walk for?
Ooh, Adidas, if you are listening, Under Armour, if you are listening, Nike, if you're listening, I'm all about it. Hey,
Okay.
send me a contract and we can talk. Let's do
Okay.
it. No, I'm always open to a lot of things going forward. So a lot of like designers and things like that. The vast majority of them I've never heard of, because I've again, this is kind of a new thing for me. So fashion prior to this, I'll say, it was never really like a passion. It wasn't, a big thing. It was just kind of like, hey, throw some clothes on, go do what I got to do. Um, so when I start hearing somebody's like, hey, such and such designer's trying to use you, I'm like, who is that and what do they do? Um, but it's, I don't know. I like to keep an open mind going
Mhm.
into anything. I
Are
don't
there
think I've
any
actually had a negative experience with any of the designers I've had to work with in Jacksonville, or Orlando or Kissimmee or anywhere in Florida.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's just like I said, I like to go into things with an open mind, and then if something turns out for the better, awesome. For instance, Dillard's at Town Center, actually, they have never ever used live models in their store prior to us showing up. So, fingers crossed, one day it turns into a partnership, a legitimate,
Right.
regular partnership that we get to do that. Whether it's, um, we'll do like freeze modeling in the store where we're literally standing there like mannequins and people will walk by and think that we're mannequins.
Right.
Or they just recently had a little runway show for a lot of summer apparel that they had coming out, or when they released their own design for male shoes. Like they have a Dillard's brand of shoes now for men. And they reached out to us, and that was something that we got to work on. So, I mean, I didn't see that coming. I'm very very grateful that it showed up. I'm always grateful for those kind of opportunities. So, what would I hope for? The best, of course. You know, if I'm standing around somewhere and somebody walks up, hey, wait a minute, I recognize you. And we get to chat, and I'm like, yeah, who is this dude? And he's like, oh, I'm the vice president of Under Armour, Nike, whatever. They're, one of the big brand names. I'm like, hey, let's do it. And even
Okay.
if it's not something that I wear all the time, like I said, I try to keep an open mind, whether it's big brands that I've never heard of, brands that I don't typically wear. Every opportunity um, is a door for more opportunities.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
every event, every photo shoot, every hashtag, everything that you do could lead to something else. And I'm firmly a believer of fate, if you will, that we end up where we're supposed to end up at the time we're supposed to be there. Everything happens for a reason.
I feel that way too. Do you feel like there are any brands that you wouldn't work with? Or and if so, what would that reason have to be for you not to want to work with them?
Short of, that's a good one. Um, Honestly, short of somebody trying to put me in a skirt or a dress, I'll even go as far as wearing heels because I know I'm coordinated enough for it.
Okay.
um, but aside from like a full drag outfit, like I said, I definitely keep, an open mind, especially because, like I said, I've been shown that,
Mhm.
you go out and you try something on a limb and hey, you might like it. Hey, you might put, this on, like you might look at it and be like, ah, and you put it
Yeah,
on and you're like,
right.
hold up, hold
Right.
up.
I think I've seen enough America's Not the Next Top Model to know that every model doesn't like everything that's presented to them, you
Right.
know, to run down the runway with or to wear for a photo shoot. So I understand that, but I will say that sometimes when you first see the piece versus when you put it on, that's a big difference. So I get what you're saying about keeping an open mind, because I've learned that too. Like, you don't think that something is gonna look good or whatever, like that doesn't even look like it go together.
Right. And
And
so
then
on that note, actually, one of the other things that is always brought up, especially when somebody new is getting into modeling, is it's not necessarily always about you. It's the what you're wearing. Sometimes, depending on the designer, depending on the event, depending on the photo shoot, sometimes they want you for what you look like. Sometimes they're like, hey, we need abs. Who's got abs? Point them out. Sometimes it's, hey, we need somebody that fits this, that can fit these pants. Okay, now from the pants, we'll put a shirt and then we'll find some shoes and we'll find a hat. And we'll do, some jewelry or like whatever, 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 whatever. And they're piecing together a look and you're just a canvas to put that look on. So it's not necessarily always about, the model. That's one of the things that people kind of, I guess I'll say, forget.
yeah, I can agree with that, because they're wanting to showcase the garment. The designers are wanting to showcase the garment. But I think people that are not models, we see the garment, we see the model, and it can become one sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
the magic of it, though.
Yeah, in fact, there are people that I've ended up meeting, through friends. They're like, "Oh, is this the guy? This is your modeling friend?" And I'm like, "That's probably me." And they're like, "I didn't know that this is what he looked like. Like, all I saw was, this picture of him wearing this or not wearing, this or this or this, and that's just kind of the image that they're given, and that's all. And their imagination just takes off with it,
Right.
and that's all they know you as. Like I said, um, sometimes you're just the canvas, and then the design gets put on you, and then that just whoop, that image is that's how you exist to the world.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like the garment can literally change you
Oh yeah.
completely. So
Mhm.
I get what you're saying, because sometimes when I would see certain ones coming down the runway and then I see them coming down again, it's like I can tell that that's them, but it's like their whole persona has changed.
Mhm.
It's like the garment. So do you change your persona per the garment?
Absolutely. Hmm. You'll see if you go back and watch. Look at the difference between the initial designs and I'm not. Let me start by saying I'm not comparing these two designers, but I'm saying look at the way that we, or at least myself, walked for like Denisha Designs or Follow as opposed to K4X or the Calvin Klein walk.
Hmm. What
Very, very different.
what
Sorry.
did you have to change?
So specifically for Denisha Designs, um, she had her own music set up already for her segment, and we're backstage. We're literally about to walk out, and Farrell's like, "Hey, this is the song that's going to play. It's playful, it's fun, it's upbeat, and you just kind of take all of those adjectives and portray them as you walk. You take them, you go, okay, it's fun, it's upbeat, it's kind of light, and you know what? Crack a smile, do a little bop while you're walking, or whatever the case may be, or if you're walking with somebody else, then they'll do a little bop, or whatever. don't be afraid to, like I said, you're kind of given some freedom with the urban style of walk. And then, you know, if I'm going out there in Calvin Klein or K4X, I am literally in some draws.
Right.
So there's a little bit of sex appeal there.
Right.
So I may or may not have allegedly gotten to the end of the runway and hit one of my thirst trap poses. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to get that picture back. But yeah, that may or may not have happened. It all depends on what you're wearing. If you're wearing, you know, a street design like I was doing for Follow, like her designs, I think it was the first one that we wore. The first round of designs for her told a story. If you looked at what everybody was wearing, there were actually there were words. If you just read, just literally just read what everybody's wearing coming down the runway, it actually tells a story.
Yeah.
And then again, the music, you know, that she had for that particular segment, you just kind of adapt. You know, it's the same as like if you're walking through like Target or Walmart or whatever, and you hear a song, it's the same thing. You'll be like, wait a minute, hold on.
Right. Yeah, you change your pep in your step.
Yeah, or if you're driving to work and some really old Dr. Dre comes on and you're kind of in a mood and now you're like, okay, look, get moved.
Right. Okay.
It's the same thing for modeling. Same thing for modeling. We'll even when we're doing photo shoots just in the studio, depending on, you know, what you're wearing, depending on what the shoot is, put on some music, kind of set, you know, the atmosphere. I don't necessarily say want to set the mood, but you know, because we keep it professional, but you know, set the atmosphere for, you know, the look that you're going for.
Right. So what is there to come this year for you? What are some other projects that you're getting ready to get into?
Ooh. There's currently, I believe it's called Summerfest, the fashion show on the 23rd of next month. I'm actually not sure I'm going to be here for that one.
Okay.
But it's coming. It's coming. Just FYI, it'll be there.
Okay.
I literally right before we started this, I got a text saying that I've got a photo shoot tomorrow for a music video.
Oh, wow.
So that's happening.
That's what's up.
Happening.
Congratulations.
The photo shoot for Follow, we're still working logistics on that to see, you know, who and when we can kind of get that done. Hopefully that'll be within the next week to 3 weeks, depending on my work schedule. And then August 7th, we have, what's the name of it? I Came to Slay. It's a fashion show down in Orlando.
Okay.
On August, I think, don't quote me, Farrell's gonna kill me. I think it's August 13th. There's one in Panama City Beach. I may or may not be able to get to that one. That's one of those that I'm not sure yet. And then at the end of September is one up in New York that almost the entire agency will be at. So, and then not to mention, you know, there's some side projects going on. There's a photographer that he bounces between, I think, Tampa, LA, and New York, and we're trying to coordinate to get a shoot in. I believe his name is Michael Downs. Again, you can find him on Instagram. He's one of my followers. I follow him back. So me and him are trying to work some stuff out, and then I have a couple general ideas for some things that I kind of want to do. Some of my just personal projects, you know, just stuff that it's been a while since I've done, you know, a shoot over here, a shoot in this or that.
Right.
We're trying to set one up for Denisha Designs. And then one of the other, Adu, I'm sorry, I apologize. Adu, that was one of the other designers that I walked for.
Okay.
We actually just did a shoot for him. He's launching a campaign on a very popular retail site. I'm not going to give out all the details because I don't know how many he's given out yet. But he's working on some very, very big things, and there's a lot going on there as well. So there's some stuff in the works.
Yeah, it sounds like it's popping for the men, for the male models. So that's what's up. As many as you can remember, you know, just maybe shoot them over to me. I'll definitely put them in the description box. We have one more question though. The mystery question.
The mystery question.
The mystery question. This is a question that does not pertain to anything we've been talking about. Okay? And
I'm terrified.
I've asked everyone these series of 3 questions.
It's a series of 3 questions. All right. If I could go back in time, I'd go back to 2012 because I'm kidding.
Okay, so the first question is, what is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces, perfect. Okay, the second question is, what is the sign you feel most attracted to? And then what is the sign that you feel least attracted to?
Oh, least attracted to? Taurus. We're going to throw that out there.
That was quick. Wow.
We're going to throw that one out there.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we just going to get that one out of the way. Like just a quick, who hurt you? Taurus.
Taurus. Wow.
Y'all wilding. Y'all got to calm down. All right. I understand that life is hard, but y'all got to calm down, relax, drink some tea, do some yoga, smoke some whatever, calm down. And what sign do I feel most attracted to? Ooh, she's going to kill me if I get this wrong. Leo.
Okay, sun sign, that's what's up.
Yeah, a Leo might have grabbed my heart and started running, so now I gotta.
That's what's up. I can see that. I can see Pisces and Leo. I can see that. Well, there may be some Tauruses out there upset, but
they'll be fine. They're gonna get mad. They're gonna throw something, and they're gonna scream at somebody. And they're gonna move on. And everybody else is gonna be like, "What just happened?"
Oh wow! Oh my God! You know, there sounds like there's a whole story behind that, but we don't have time today.
A story, 11, whatever.
Oh my God! Okay, all righty then.
I'm kidding. Look. Everybody's got somebody for them. I just don't think fish and bulls mix well. I don't think there's not a YouTube video about that friendship,
Yeah.
Okay. Where you see the lion and a squirrel are friends. All right, cool, dope. I don't think there's anything about a fish and a bull.
That's the truth. You might be right about that. I was surprised. I was just thrown off. When you said Pisces, I was expecting something else, but that Taurus came out of
I say Pisces and everybody's like, you need a Virgo. And I'm like, for what? So we can both be crying? Shut up.
Okay. Look, I'm just gonna be, I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay. All right.
Good experiences with Pisces.
Okay. All right.
But the thing is, water signs, for some reason, they are just attached to my life. All of the water signs are all around this fire.
As long as, it's about your energy. As long as you have good energy, water signs will be around. I promise.
I can see that, especially with Pisces. They big on energy. If your energy is off, they're not there. Period.
No, yeah, we're out. We just be like, what happened?
Okay.
Did you raise your voice? I mean, yeah, but it wasn't in a threatening manner. Nah, but we can tell. Yeah, we got some intuition. We know some deep-rooted stuff going on with you. And
right. Oh, that is so true. Y'all are real intuitive. That is very true. You cannot pull one over on you
we try.
Well, that's what's up. This has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conversation. Yes. Let the people know one more time where they can follow you.
Saint Nick 20 on Instagram. STNICK 20. Now, if for whatever reason you don't have Instagram, if you have Snapchat, again, Saint Nick 20, STNICK 20. You can find me on pretty much all of my social media with that. If you're like, I don't know which one he might have or might not have, just look for that. And then I will send you, like I said, a list of the designers that I walked for, as well as links to their Instagrams.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think that's about all I got. This was fun.
It was fun. It was real fun. I enjoyed every second of it. I can't wait for it to air and for everybody in the Duval Connect family to check it out. You guys be sure to definitely go follow Nick and definitely show up at one of his shows. Go support him.
Now, Miss Candace.
Yes.
If I am new to the 904, how do I find this Duval Connect?
You can subscribe to Duval Connect magazine by going to patreon.com/Queen Connect Pub, PUB.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saving this and I'm sending this to people as well.
That's what's up. Yeah, sign up for Duval Connect magazine. We're a community based publication. And so we advocate for a lot of different things in the community. Just recently, the last issue that's going to run before this airs will be all about the Duval County public school systems and the things that we work with the youth throughout the year with. And so it's very interesting. A lot of different things has going on, and a lot of youth stepped up and spoke out about different things. So it was very interesting. This was such a lighter side of Duval Connect, being able to go out to the RDB Fashion Show and just show support and show all of the great things that's happening in Jacksonville. And it was wonderful.
Right. Well, we appreciate it. Believe me. That show was that first off my first fashion show. And yeah, there were some intense moments, but we definitely appreciate all of the support, everybody showing up, all the photographers and the general. I mean, we had people flying in.
Right.
Yeah, that was good. We like that. We appreciate that sincerely.
That's what's up. We're definitely connected now. So whatever you guys have going on, we're going to be there for sure. I'm definitely grateful for the connection to Pharaoh, to RDB Fashion Show, to all of the designers. I got to meet a lot of the Black-owned businesses with the vendors, artists. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. And it shows all what's in Jacksonville, all of the talent, just everything. So that was very exciting, but I don't want to make this video too long. I know this has been a great conversation, but thank you all for tuning in. Don't worry, you will see plenty more of Nick Adams and many of the models from RDB Fashion Show with Duval Connect, because we're definitely connected now and partnering up. So I'm super excited about that. So until next time, peace.
SinStyle Fashions. SinStyle is a self-taught designer, stylist, creative director, fashion coordinator, and consultant. Growing up in the fashion industry, she developed a true passion and respect for the art while adding her own spin on things and going against the norm. Her work has been published in many magazines, and she has styled both men and women for all types of events. She finds comfort in the chaos of backstage fashion shows and peace in creating looks and helping you look amazing. Whether you need help with styling, building your fashion portfolio, or looking for a one-of-a-kind piece, SinStyle is your go-to. Have the audacity to be different. Get SinStyle. Welcome to Style Your Curves. Visit us at www.styleyourcurves.com
where being curvy is made easy. Always remember, it's your curves, your style. Defy the standards.
On the next episode of Factabulous Magazine Unfiltered, the Queen's Court discuss women in business. Why don't we support each other? It's just a like, right? It's just a share. Why won't we support the closest ones to us? Is it more to it? Join me and the Queen's Court for another unfiltered conversation. Factabulous Magazine Unfiltered is sponsored by Queen Connect Publishing, LLC, providing magazine publications, ghostwriting, and marketing services. Sponsored also by Style Your Curves, Inner Beauty Styles, Nika Blog, Nadia's Intimacy and Relationship Counseling Services, Plush Size Pretty, Plush Beats. For sponsorship opportunities, please email us at queenconnectpub@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Factabulous Magazine by going to patreon.com/Queen Connect Pub. That's Queen Connect PUB. Subscribe today for only $2 until August 1st, 2021.